Hello everybody, we are back again with another deck profile. So this is the well-awaited Magnamon deck profile. This is a near max rarity deck, so get ready to see a ton of different alt arts in here. And I'm super excited to be sharing this with you and kind of breaking it down so you can see what it's all about. So let's get started. To begin, for our eggs, we are running 4 of the Demi Veemons from BT17. When this has 2 or more colors, we're going to get plus 1,000 in the inheritable. So pretty standard egg to work with and so on. So our level 3s, I'm going to start with our searchers here. We are running our BT12 Veemon Searcher. This is revealing your top 3 cards. Grab your free trait, Imperial Dramon, or a Davis. Really good searcher, obviously, and the inheritable is your DNA. You're not really using the DNA because it's a blue armor deck, but it is a great searcher to get the cards that you need, especially looking for your free trait cards as you need. The next one up for searching is, of course, your ST9 Veemon. Just a basic search 3, add 1 card with free trait to your hand, and place the remaining in any order. So you want to keep those searchers handy. Moving on, we have our promo Veemons. This is promo 117. These are from the movie version. So this, of course, is when one of your Digimon Digivolve into a card with the free trait. You can have that Digi-Evolution reduced by 1. So it is pretty good when you're Digivolving on top of that one. And then, of course, we have 4 of our BT16 Veemons. Of course, getting that Digivolve cost off of the Demi V for 0. When one of your other Digimon is played or Digivolves, if it has the free trait or is green, you can gain a memory. So usually you'll be having this on the field and then Digivolving another Digimon and gaining the memory off of it. So these are kind of all of our sort of more so searchers and kind of setting up for our next plays. Moving into our level 4s, we are running 4 of the BT8 Magnamons. This is, of course, our Armor Purge Magnamons that we're working with. It also has your when Digivolving, unsuspend this Digimon, and it gets plus 2,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn, so long as you have armor form traits in your trash. So if you have a couple different armor form traits, you get plus 2,000 for each of those. So it stacks really nicely there. Then we have our ST17 Magnamons that we're running as well. These ones are really great because if they are in security, you do get to de-Digivolve 1 Digimon. At the end of the battle, one of your Digimon may Digivolve into this Digimon without paying the Digi-Evolution cost. So that's kind of a nice little touch to have that de-Digivolving option, as well as an extra Digivolve in. So if you have a level 3 on the field, you can kind of go into this without the Digi-Evolution cost. Of course, you also have Armor Purge and Blocker with this one, so it's really great at slowing your opponent down a bit there when they're trying to check your security. And of course, it's when Digivolving effect is trashing the top Digi-Evolution card of one of your opponent's Digimon for each of those colors. So if it is a 2-colored Digimon that you are facing, you can strip 2 colors. If it's 1 color, 1 source, and so on. But it has to be from the top. And then you can return one of your opponent's Digimon if it has no Digi-Evolution cards back to their hand. So pretty good at bouncing things out of your opponent's field and kind of keeping them as empty as possible. Our last set for level 4s is actually our flamedramons. So we are running 3 of them. Again, you have Armor Purge with the flamedramons, but what's also interesting about these is you have Raid. They do have a reduced cost off of the Veemon for 2, which is always a good thing. And then when this Digimon's attack target is switched, your opponent adds the top card of their security stack to the hand. So you're basically getting a check even if you're raiding, which is pretty nice. Moving on, we actually don't have any level 5s in this deck. We go jumping right into our level 6, which is our Magnamon. let me go and grab the fourth one here because we are running 4 Magnamon X antibodies. So what's really nice is this doesn't have any level 5s, mainly because you can Digivolve from a 2-colored, if it has Magnamon in the name, for the cost of 5. So you're basically just going into your Magnamons from it, or you can use the option cards to kind of pull yourself in here. So you have Blocker, you have Armor Purge with this, and of course, as long as Magnamon X antibody or an Armor Form trait card is in this Digimon's Digievolution, you get the plus 3,000 to the card, and it is not affected by your opponent's effects, and you get to unsuspend it. And then, of course, all turns, once per turn, when a card is removed from a security stack, you may activate this Digimon's 1 Digivolving effects, and thus unsuspending it and giving it one more chance at that plus 3,000. So you can get it to math. What? 9,000, 8,000 plus 3,000. So 2 and 6, 8,000, 18 you can get it to, which is pretty cool. And then depending on what you have underneath, like your Demi V, it'll go to 19. And then you can get another plus 2,000 off of your Veemons. So depending on what you have in your inheritables underneath, you can get to like 20 something, which is pretty crazy. So Magnamon X is busted because once it's on the field, it can get very tricky to remove off of the field, especially when people are tricking your security very frequently. You kind of get that immunity back very fast. For level 7s, we are running our Paladin mode Ace. So we have our beautiful alt arts over here. What's really cool about this is you still get the Digimon effects of the Paladin mode Ace. So it's a really good counter for when your opponents are there and they're trying to get rid of your Magnamon X, just go right into the Paladin mode Ace. We've talked about this on our deck lists before, but of course, trashing all of the Digievolution cards of your opponent's Digimon and returning all cards from your opponent's trash back to the bottom of their deck. And then, of course, your when attacking is by returning one of your opponent's Digimon with no Digievolution cards, you get to unsuspend. So it's a really great kind of card to have, especially in a lot of blue decks, because it doesn't necessarily have to be Imperial based. So it's pretty good to have as well. We're also running a Death Xmon in this deck to kind of counter more wide boards. Sometimes you just need like an extra card to kind of deal with a lot of deck styles, or even de-digivolving and getting your opponent's field kind of out of the way and gone. And if they have a very wide board, you get to play this for free, which is always nice. On to our Tamers. We are back with some movie promo Davises that are here. So, of course, start of your main phase, if you have a Digimon with a free trait, you get to gain 1 memory right off the bat. And then activating one of the following effects on play. You can play out a Veemon from your hand without paying the cost. Or one of your Digimon may Digivolve into an X Veemon. You're not really using this for the X Veemon part, but you are definitely using it to play out your Searcher Veemons, or any of your Veemons really, but your Searcher ones, so you kind of get that extra Tamer plus a Veemon, and then you can gain the memory off of it on the following turn. So that is why we have that there. And then we are running 2 Shuyulins. This is for our memory setter, as well as the Mind Link option here, because when you Mind Link it in, you can get Alliance and Reboot. So long as it has the X antibody trait, which your Magnamon X will definitely have. So that is also a really good card to have with that Reboot and Alliance to kind of really bring home and get that security checked from your Magna X. We are running 3 Awakening of the Golden Knights. This is, of course, while you have an armor form, you can play this card without meeting its requirements. So if you have the Magnamon that's blue, you can still play this out even though it's not yellow. With that, you can Digivolve into one of your Digimon with armor form into a Digimon with Magnamon in its name from your hand, which means that you can go from one Magnamon into the other for essentially 3 instead of the 5 that it would normally cost. So this is a much cheaper or more cost-effective way to get into your Magna X. And then, of course, if it Digivolved by the effect, you can reduce your opponent's... your opponent can't reduce your effects. Can't reduce your DP, essentially. So Awakening is pretty good. And then, of course, the security effect is a little bit different because if it is hit in security, you're returning one Magnamon from your trash back to your hand, and then you're adding this to your hand. So it really sets you up for when it becomes your turn again, and then you can essentially kind of cycle back into a Magnamon as you need with this, which is pretty good. We are also running our blue memory boosts for searching and for memory gain. So you're gaining 2 memory off of this, revealing the top 4, and taking 1 blue Digimon card to your hand. Searchers are always good to have in these types of decks because you want to be able to see your pieces as frequently as possible. We are also running 2 Heaven's Judgments because why wouldn't you want to run 2 Heaven's Judgments and proc your negative 6,000 DP for the turn? Well, 3 colors plus itself 4 times is pretty crazy. So Heaven's Judgment is a really great card, especially for these multicolored decks that you're working with. So long as you have a green Digimon or Tamer in play, you can also play this out too. But we're not running any green Tamers, so it doesn't work that way. But we just kind of hard play it, use the main effect, go from there. So pretty good for Heaven's Judgment. Nearing the end here, we are running 2 final Zubagon punches. This is so that you can get blocker, reboot, plus an extra security attack. And one of your Digimon will get plus 3,000 until the end of your opponent's next turn. So if you end up with a much larger DP, which with Magna, you're going to end up way above the threshold of 16,000 DP, you're going to get that blocker, that reboot, and of course your security plus 1. So for low cost with great rewards, you definitely run those. And then lastly, we are running 2 Blinding Ray. This essentially is used to get Magnamon to become immune, basically to be immune again from your opponent's effect. So it's really good. It's a 0 cost. You sacrifice the top of your security stack, and then you get to gain 2 memory. So pretty good. And then you get the benefits of this becoming a unaffected body on the field that can block as needed. So pretty neat for there. And that is effectively the deck. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think about it. It is pretty much a regional ready deck as well. It's kind of good to go. But let me know if you've ever faced a Magnamon X in the chat. Let me know what you were playing, how your matchup went, or what you think tech choices would be that you're kind of interested in sharing. And I will see you at the next video. Bye!